If newly crowned Liberal Supremo Brendan Nelson was looking for some advice from a former leader, it hasn't been long in coming.
Everybody sort of half expects you when you take over the leadership in difficult circumstances like this to not make it. And it's very hard to actually go through that process.
It won't be the first difficult transition for Dr Nelson. After leading the Australian Medical Association through one of its most turbulent periods, Dr Nelson turned his back on his family Labor traditions.
I'm not rich, I'm not a specialist, and I don't million people again out of the Liberals getting into government. I've never voted Liberal in my life.
I can assure you that I'll be always voting Liberal. I mean, you know who the candidate will be I'll be voting for, don't you?
Then opposition leader John Hewson helped recruit Dr Nelson into the Liberal Party and has since been a key supporter.
John Howard's held him back in a sense. I mean, he was head of the AMA, and you would have thought at some point he would have been given a run in the health portfolio, but no, put him in education, then put him in defence, keep him at a disadvantage. And so we haven't had a chance to see how Brendan will operate in a position where he can use his skill set.
But Dr Nelson was able to show some of his abilities when he was made Education Minister, provoking the Labor opposition to christen him Rain Man for his uncanny ability to absorb and regurgitate facts and statistics. He also became famous for his crusade for the teaching of Australian values and to erect an Australian flag in every school. But arguably, Dr Nelson's most famous public remarks came when he was promoted to Defence Minister in the last Howard cabinet.
Not only Iraq, but the entire region is an important supplier of energy, oil in particular, to the rest of the world. And Australians and all of us need to think, well, what would happen if there were a premature withdrawal from Iraq?
And that brought him into direct conflict with Mr Howard.
We're not staying in Iraq for reasons of oil.
Dr Nelson's time as Defence Minister was also marred by the mix-up over the repatriation of the body of Private Jake Kovco, killed in Iraq in his barracks. He then made matters worse by detailing conflicting reports of how Private Kovco died.
I'm advised that the soldier was simply handling his weapon and maintaining it.
It now seems that perhaps he might not have been actually handling the weapon, but it was very close to him.
Dr Hewson says Dr Nelson's style will be very different from his predecessor, and for that matter, his rival in today's leadership contest.
He's a much more inclusive person, so, than Malcolm Turnbull. Turnbull's got people who like him, and he's got people who completely dislike him, and he's very polarising, not much in the middle, whereas Brendan's going to be more inclusive. I think that's why he beat Turnbull.
And as one who had the Liberal leadership and lost it, Dr Hewson says Dr Nelson needs to keep an eye over his shoulder for his colleagues who nominated for leadership positions.
They're all there now, they've got their name in the hat, and they're all going to be looking for that stumble, the fact that the polls really don't recover the way they should, or we missed this, or we didn't do that. And
all that Brendan Nelson's learnt in the defence and education portfolios is about to be put to the ultimate test. Tom Miggleton, Lateline.